Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Hearthstone here on the channel. This week's Tavern Brawl is going to be the Clockwork card dealer, where you get a card that costs equal to whatever turn you're on if you have one in your deck. So we're going to try to build around that, and I think I'm going to try a priest here. Well, North Shore Clerics I don't know if would be very good to start out with because of the fact that we're going to be using most of our mana anyway. We're going to take some Inner Fires, Light of the Naru, Power Word Shield. Might do just a buff deck, and then rely on drawing some higher cost minions later on. Like a Light Spawn turn 4 and then buff it up. Shadow Menace gain control of an enemy of 3 or less attack for 1 turn. And take some mind controls for later game. Go ahead and take a couple Shadow Word Deaths. They don't get in the way of the Light Spawn. And then just take some big minions here. Like, we don't have anything for turn 5, so what is the best thing for turn 5 we could get? Fen Creeper maybe? Actually, I'm going to go with Berserker because it has done very well for us in the past. Go ahead and do a Maxna. Turn 7, we're definitely going to take Sneed as our only 8 mana. And on turn 7, go ahead and take the Stormwind Champion, just because of the fact that it can use the buff. Add a couple of Molten Giants in there, skip the Sea Giant. Don't want to take anything over Sneed. 6 mana we have Maxna, and we don't really want to cloud any early draw, so I'm going to go with turn 5 maybe, add a couple of minions, like a Fen Creeper, maybe a Bodyguard, just to get some more mid-range minions out there. I guess Lord of the Arena is pretty close to being as good as Maxna, and a Sunwalker. Could have done the gold Sunwalker, but it doesn't really matter. And let's hop in and try the deck. It'd be nice if we had more legendaries just to be able to use whatever the best card is for the turn, but we don't, so we're gonna just try this, try to get a Light Spawn and buff it up as much as possible. I was thinking of doing a Druid Astral Communion deck that would give us a bunch of, basically be a 1, 2, and a 3 cost minion, and then a bunch of larger minions so that we have something every turn to drop out. Since we'll get Astral Communion every time we draw on turn 4. Not sure if I'll do that, but something I might end up doing. Usually wouldn't keep the Molten Giant, but might this turn. Actually, no, I'll just draw for like buffs and spells. Get them out of the pool so that we can draw minions more often. Card draw might have actually been good. I think I'll add back in the Cleric after this game. A couple of Inner Fires, which is interesting for us. If we can buff stuff up, get a couple of buff minions. Or else something that has a really bad damage compared to their health, like a Snapjaw Turtle and whatnot. He doesn't have anything for 1 mana in his deck. Unfortunately, I only have buffs that I've been drawing so far until turn 4. Divine Spirit's nice for the Light Warden, however. And there is another Shadow Word Death, so we're just going to heal ourselves up again because looks like he either just stacked full of later game stuff or spells, and we stacked full of spells. Or at least that's what we're drawing so far. At least he hasn't been able to put anything out either yet. And there is the Light Warden on an empty board, which is good for us. Be able to make it a 10-10. Or else put something up in front of it. Or I'll use a Deadly Shot to clear it, which it's alright. We have a bunch of Inner Fires. Go ahead and put out a Berserker out. Put a Berserker out and I'll put out a Berserker. Out. And then we will probably Divine Spirit and then Inner Fire and kill his Berserker. Double his health. Make him 14-14. Hit the Berserker. Get up to 17 damage. Heal him back up to 14 health. And now we have a 17-14 on the board. We can put a big taunt in front of him as long as he doesn't have a deadly shot in his hand. Which he did use one on the Light Warden. Which is looking like it could be very good for us right now. This big Berserker is not something that you would want to have on the board. Against you, that would make it a 17 or an 18-15. Don't really think I want to do that right now, so I'm just going to put a Lord of the Arena out. Kill that off, get some more damage on him. He's a 29 now, and a 6-5 taunt in front of him. And he will concede, so we get a pretty quick victory there with the buffed up Berserker. There we go, we end up getting a pack, and this deck's not as dependent on the Light Warden as I thought it was. Actually, gonna add that Cleric real quick in exchange for a Bodyguard and a Fen Creeper, just to make sure we get Berserkers. Put in a couple of Clerics, and give us some more card draw so that we can get things that aren't on par with the level, like drawing extra buffs and whatnot. And see who we will be facing this time, another worthy opponent. In the form of another Priest, so this is going to be an interesting matchup. Depending on if he is doing the same deck or not. Going to get rid of everything with the Velen's Chosen. And not really drawing anything that's all too great for us right now. I mean, we could clear off whatever he puts out on turn 1 if we wanted to, the Shadowward Pain. He gets a Cleric out. And we get Power Word Shield, so... Is it worth Shadowward Pain? I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna waste coin and pain just to get a Cleric off the board. Fairy Dragon, alright. A lot worse than that. Divine Spirit, still nothing we really want. I'm gonna Shadowward Pain that to get rid of his card draw, however. Next turn we'll have 3 mana. I don't know what we have, it's not a buff. Redraw a card, reduce it. So that is pretty good that we got rid of his Cleric, and we get another Velen's Chosen, so we are still without minions on the board. But when we get the Light Warden out, we can get an extra 2 health. He might have a Shadow or Death in his hand, however. But if we can do that with the Power Word Shield and a Velen's Chosen on it, and then do another Velen's Chosen, it will be a pretty big minion on the board. We do get it out. And a coin into giving it 7 health. We'll end up drawing a Shadowward Pain. He will probably clear it off some way though. Either with the Shredder or the Fairy Dragon, or just with a Shadow or Death or some spells. And he will Shadow or Death it, but at least he uses pretty much his entire turn just to get the Shadow or Death. And we're into the point where our deck is better suited. Still have a bunch of our bigger buffs out though. I may Shadow Word Pain that Shadow Fiend. Yeah, because we can use this guy. But he has a lot of damage on the board. Get rid of that, put him out, hopefully not too late. Because he does have the damage to get us down to only 2 health remaining, so it is very, very important that we're able to clear his board. Or put a taunt out if we can. A really big taunt, which might be a little hard to get. There's a Lord of the Arena, but it does not look like we have anything that... Yeah, Lord of the Arena can't take all that damage, so we end up dropping this one to another priest due to the fact that we just didn't have enough to get board control early on in order to buff some stuff up, and the Shadow or Death really did hurt us pretty badly thanks to the fact that we're based around getting that Light Warden out, and we didn't really have anything else to counter what he had on the board, so him being able to get rid of it so easily and quickly was very bad for us. This time, hopefully be able to get back into the way we were against the Hunter, and just put out some big minions he can't clear off the board. Obviously against a maybe mage, or a priest, or one of those, a shaman, they have crowd control that can really easily get rid of it, even a warlock. This guy's a paladin though, so he has more indirect ways of getting rid of it, either by just getting rid of all of its attack, or giving its health down to 1 like a hunter would. Gotta keep the inner fire here. Hope to draw into something else. We get a few good spells to start out with, so not too upset there. Get an inner fire, another inner fire, which would have probably preferred to get the cleric there, in all honesty, just to get some early draw and be able to buff it up pretty well. But we're not going to be able to have anything to counter the shielded mini-bot. We just get another Divine Spirit, so we're going to be taking 2 damage next turn and not able to clear off that minion. It's a Knife Juggler, which is never good for us. And a Velen's Chosen, so I'm just going to kill off that Knife Juggler with the Shadow Word Pain and end turn with a handful of buffs. However, anything we can give the +6 health and then the doubling its health, it's going to be really great for us, especially with Inner Fire, as long as he doesn't have anything to clear it. Maybe a big taunt or something, and put out that light spawn. Maybe he just won't attack that. Keep rushing us down in the face, probably not. But if he does, that is pretty good for us. He's gonna hit it, take 5 damage to the face. Does have the heal from the True Silver Champion though. And he keeps his smaller minions on the board, but still, if we get a taunt out or a really buffed Berserker, we're still in a very nice place. Because either he's going to kill the Berserker or leave it on the board to get really buffed. Knife Juggler, this could be bad for us. Actually, if it hits the Berserker, that's not bad for us whatsoever. And here's to hoping for taunt on the next turn. Heals him back up to 27. And we get Maxna, so we gotta get creative in killing off some of these minions on the board. And I'm gonna do a Shadow Word, or Power Word Shield. Don't get what I was hoping for, really. We have enough to kill him off this turn. Do that. No, we don't have enough mana, and we'd be 1 damage short anyway. Going to kill off the Knife Juggler, or actually as a noble sacrifice. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We live by 3. If we live through this turn, we win the game. Because we'll have a ton of damage out there. It all depends if he has a charge or a damaging spell that will hit us. And
who am I? None of your business.
Keeping your deck into the battlefield. So yeah, we probably will end up just pushing this into a draw if we hit him. Actually, we don't have enough damage to kill him off. We can only heal up to 4 and buff him up so much. And because of the fact that we did not have a taunt, looks like we're gonna end up losing this. But I do get a pretty highly buffed guy, competitive spirit. It's not really gonna have much of a consequence for him because he already had lethal anyway.
Well played.
And there we go. So we end up dropping another one, this time to a paladin, but did We were able to buff up a pretty good Berserker. Bring him down to 2, it doesn't really count for anything, but we got a win. Got our pack, go ahead and open it and see what we get inside. Looks to be a pretty plain pack. Get naturalized, a Light Warden, which is actually pretty good for us, I'll take that, and then a Demon Fire, which is alright. So I might actually do a Light Warden, a deck with a Light Warden in it now that we have one. But until then, I'll see you all next time, and thank you, as always, for watching.